You have now entered the lab. Elvis Escobar, Fort Thomas. Sorry for the little delay. I believe Fort was taking his usual
Oh,
pregame.
sleep, bro.
Excuse me, pregame nap, and I knew once it got to like 7:59, 8 o'clock, I was like, all right. Usually I text. Let me give him a FaceTime. And once you denied the FaceTime, I was like, all right, at least he's alive. I know that. So sorry for the delay, but usually we get people in here after we start anyway. So it's no big deal either way. Appreciate you guys for joining in, locking in, whether it's on audio or YouTube. Definitely subscribe. Follow us on all audio platforms. Leave us a review, a rating, however you want to do it. Episode presented by Broward Vintage. Rocking a cool little amateur hockey Panthers jersey, which is cool, from Broward Vintage. A little gift from them. Yeah, go on eBay, hit our link, type in Broward Vintage, listing every single day. Some awesome stuff. So go shop for men's, women's, kids' clothing, birthdays for your swag. But March Madness is going on. We got some random news with betting. How I've done in betting in the last week or so. I've been locked in doing my small Elvis units, as I call them. But yeah, let's jump right in.
Are you placing those bets yourself, or you have your translator placing them for you?
I am doing it myself, for the record. Yeah. That's we got to clarify these days. But yeah, this episode, I feel like it will be a nice, short, sweet, right to the point type episode with a lot going on in sports, heating up with March Madness. I got basketball on heavy. Got Iowa starting in the next few minutes, but we'll start off as we always start off with every episode. What's going on, Fort? Obviously, you're tired for a reason, working hard. You're trying to balance the business and pleasure aspect of your life, which, hey, might take a few months.
Yeah, no, it's definitely gonna get some getting used to. It's mad different. It's all this is new to me. I haven't done this kind of stuff in a long time. But my Mondays, the last, I want to say 3-4 Mondays, have been pretty packed because I've been getting scheduled early in the morning at the gas station, and then I freaking have to go work at Publix right after. Today I was 7-Eleven at the gas station. I was supposed to be at Publix 11 to 6. So no break in between, nothing like that. I left the gas station like right at 10:58, 10:57. Thank God it's right across the street from each other. Literally just have to cross a stoplight and I'm at the other spot. So that's a huge bonus. I'm really blessed with that. But man, yeah, just today I was bagging. It's just not easy. It is easy, but it's fucking.
Wait, are you talking
annoying.
Personal or business? Oh, you're talking.
Yeah, at work. I was.
Oh, bagging. Okay, all right, cool. Hey, this is a different. This is a different Ford I'm trying to learn, so I got to learn different term. You know what I mean? Now you got. Shit. 3 months ago, if you were saying you were bagging during the day, I'm thinking you're doing something else.
Yeah, no, way different, way different. No, but I've been mad chill, bro. Mad chill. Yesterday,
good.
Sunday, went to Forsyth Park with Shorty and her friends. We hung out, just laid in the sun, got some sun, just talked some
How's
shit.
The weather up there?
Bro, yesterday was beautiful,
Yep.
man. Not a cloud in the sky. I want to say it was probably maybe like 69, 70 degrees, probably a little warmer, but sun was good. I mean, we just laid in the grass, had a good time, hung out. It was cool. I had to leave a little earlier because I had to be at work at 3:30, but I mean, from maybe like 12:45, 1 p.m. to about 3 p.m., I was laying out there and we were just chilling, kicking it. Good time. And
Sounds good, man. Yeah, so you're it's
like you said, trying to find that sweet spot where as little time I have, I can,
work-life balance for sure. Yeah, you're probably gonna need a few months now that everything's so new with both sides. Figure it out. I think being selfish with your time is so easy because you got nobody else to blame but yourself, or it's up to you get to do whatever you want throughout the whole day, whether it's you go home after a nap, but once you start building a relationship and establishing a relationship, you start to be like, all right, I got to be unselfish. I got to give my time to that person, and you get a,
Right.
you're selfishly, your time goes down a little bit, but hopefully you, in general, hopefully you're with a person that doesn't feel like it's another job, like it's not like
No,
a
it
burden.
doesn't
So
at
it's good.
all. It doesn't
Good.
at all, man. I tell her all the time. I'm like, yo, this is like a breath of fresh air. It's
There you
so
go.
good. Everything's cool. I got some good news from, Publix. So some good stuff on that end. Just gonna be getting more responsibilities. Gonna be getting,
Sweet.
more things to handle, more things to take care of. So they're kind of easing me into that role, and I'm very happy about that. And then I had an interview on Wednesday for a sales position, and
At
I've been
something else, at something else.
yeah at
Okay.
another spot, and I want to say probably the last year, man. I've been really itching to get back into sales. I didn't really want to get back into, you know, my normal sales stuff, Verizon or cellular like phones and
Yeah.
shit like that. I didn't want to get into that because I don't know that I feel like that market now with COVID and with just how everything was, how they changed all the commission and the in-store pickup and curbside pickup and stuff like that. It really changed the game. So I wasn't trying to get into that. I wanted to try something else. And I had my interview last Wednesday. It went really well. I knew the manager beforehand. He just told me, he's like, hey, man, just apply. I have a full-time representative that's about to move to North Carolina. So I'm going to have a position opening up, and I would like to hire you. I don't really want to hire anyone else. I already know you and I know what you're about. So I put it in the application, had the interview, and everything went well. He said he's going to send it up so they can send me my background check stuff. And I mean, that shit's clean.
Gee.
I don't
Will
have any
one
issues
will
on
one
that
job
end.
have to go? Will one job
No,
have to
no,
go
no.
away?
So I'm gonna if it all happens, I will be leaving the gas station just because of how everything has worked there as far as pay goes and hours go and stuff. So I'd
Okay.
be doing Publix and this new position. So hopefully within the next month, I can start the ball rolling on that, and it'll be a good amount. It'll be a lot more money than I was making at the
Yeah.
gas station, plus commission and stuff like that. So
Nice.
bro, that's really where I shine. If it's one thing I'm good at, bro, it's sales. And just kind
For
of
sure.
talking to people.
Likewise.
I'm really good at talking to people. I'm really good at building connections, and that's all it really is. After that, it doesn't really matter what I'm selling. Just
Yeah,
have
I
to
was
talk
gonna
to you,
say
build common ground, and build the connection, and we go from there.
with the cellular industry, you kind of establish yourself. That's kind of like almost not a challenge to you. So if you
Right.
did want to get into sales, which obviously is the you have that entrepreneur mindset where it's like the only way you're gonna feel. I mean, we talked about it last couple episodes where you're at Publix doing more, and you're not gonna get rewarded for doing more money wise at a job like that. So the only thing you do get more pay is in sales. That's kind of the growth opportunity in that. So going to something different industry wise, but we just talked about it right before we hopped on. We will take a summer slash end of spring kind of intermission from the podcast with what you got going on personally. I'm going to be traveling in. I'm going to have my mom and my nephew here in April. We're going to be traveling in May to Ohio, and then in end of June, 4th of July week, we're going to be in Myrtle Beach. So it'll be good over the next 6 weeks, probably to take a good, few weeks off, probably 4 weeks off from the podcast max. Just as a little reset, you're able to focus on what you're doing, which is more important than this podcast right now. And same for me. I'll be able to, not saying that this podcast takes up much time, but it just allows you to not have to think about it for a few
Yeah.
weeks and just be able to lock in on whatever you got to do. So I think the
Of
timing is
course.
perfect like, when I brought it up.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that, and I'm for it. We've been super consistent. We owe
Yep.
that. We kind of owe that
To
to
ourselves,
ourselves.
for sure.
We've been super
Yeah.
consistent over the last more than 2 years now, dropping episodes every week. So I know now all of a sudden once we don't do an episode for 2 weeks,
Oh,
everyone's gonna be like, "Yo, where the fuck? What happened, bro? Are you guys not doing the pod? Like, did
I
you guys quit, bro? You're a bitch. What's wrong with you, bro? You can't
I
keep
was gonna
going." Like,
say
man, suck
I
my
was gonna
dick.
I was gonna say after 1 week I might be texting you like, oh shit. I'm not like because you do something so long
Right.
so consistently you feel weird. So I think every Monday for that month or that few weeks, I think I'm gonna feel weird not doing it. But like I said, it's reevaluating where you're at in life is important too. So taking a little break will be important, but luckily for you guys, luckily for us, as long as this podcast stays fun, we have people engaging and appreciating what we're doing. You know, just to have some entertainment for ourselves first and foremost, and then other people will continue to do it. So that break will come up. We'll definitely announce a time frame so people aren't wondering where we're at. But for the time now, we have March Madness kicking off. It started on, really started on Tuesday, Wednesday of last week, or Wednesday, Thursday, and then over the weekend. Uh, Unlike any other previous years, the 1 and 2 seeds are still alive in the men's bracket. I just started getting into the women's right now because they overlap. So right now Iowa's playing. I got a couple bets on Iowa right now just to keep things interesting with Caitlin Clark chasing history in her final year at Iowa. Have you been able to, before I go into kind of my take on the whole weekend, obviously with you being busy, have you got time to either get into it a little bit or watch some highlights, or what do you feel about the tournament as a whole?
Dude, I have not watched
Okay.
shit about that. I didn't even make a bracket this year.
Yeah.
I saw Caitlin Clark get stuck in the face
Nice elbow. I thought it was not a
unintentionally.
flagrant foul. It was unintentional, and basketball's so soft now. They view any hit to the face is going to be they're going to try to set the tone. I was watching it live at the time, and I was like, "There's no way that person tried to elbow her in the face," but whatever. So you did see that though.
That's all I saw. I mean, I saw
Okay.
Buddy on Oakland go off against
Yep.
who was it?
It was a big team. Who was it? Kentucky?
Yeah, Kentucky. Yeah, he
Oakland?
eliminated Kentucky. Yeah, and then
Hmm.
He was actually on Pat McAfee, and he's
Yeah,
like,
I
man,
watched that.
my boy was dying because I got cracker of the day from
Oh
AB.
yeah, CT ESPN. Uh,
TTE ESPN. Yeah.
AB's trying to take that as legit network podcasts
He-
or media, and I'm all for it. I'm all for
Yeah, of
something to be
course.
lighthearted, fun, a lot of jokes, and almost a
Maybe a
gimmick,
little
but
autistic.
a lot of autistic and
Yeah.
point intended CTE type
I
content. But
need
that'll be fun.
I need to see Antonio Brown and Theo Vaughn in the same room.
That'll be Theo Vaughn is a
I
very
need to see
eclectic
that.
type podcast where he has every similar. He's like a I like to say he's a I don't want to say he's a gimmick Joe Rogan, but he's a more fun, loose, more interesting Joe Rogan, where the conversations maybe not as deep, but they're definitely watchable. And he has all types of people. He had Tucker on, and then the next week he'll
Dude,
have a comedian on that
he
they don't
fucking
even
had
talk about
Drewski
anything
on.
real.
Drewski
Drewski, I watched a
on
little bit
the
of
other
that.
day.
That was fun.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious. I've been watching Drewski the Could Have Been House on YouTube. I don't know if you seen that, man. That shit is fucking hilarious, bro. It's literally the perfect thing to watch it with your girl, because I know your girl enjoys reality TV.
Yeah, loves it
My girl
too
likes that
much.
shit, and I don't. But
That's their sports. That's
yeah,
their Super
but
Bowl.
so
That's what Bree
the could
calls
have
it.
been house shit. It's like a reality TV type shit, but it's like
Mhm.
Twitter on TV. So that shit, bro. That's what I've watched the last few days. It's got like 3 episodes. They're only like 35, 40 minutes long, if that.
Mm.
And
Yeah, I
I've been
joke
dying, man. I've
about
been watching that.
women watching sport, watching reality TV to a point. But then again, I look at my life. You got to be kind of open minded. Where I consume myself with 8 different sports a week, and then I watch a lot of wrestling. So it's like I can't be I can't be too critical of women watching reality TV just to get away to kind of escape and have fun with their lives. So I get it. At the end of the day, I'm captivated uh, with reality TV when it's on. But March Madness has been fun. I was making bets. Just to backtrack, I was making bets early on. Like I said, I do very small units, so I'll never say what I bet. Don't listen to me. I won't give any advice. I like to do small units, anywhere from $2 to $5 bets, just for fun, just
Yeah.
to be involved. And if I'm alone in the lab, just to make a game more watchable, or if I'm watching with other people, just makes me have skin in the game where you're being a bro hanging out. So the first 2 days of the tournament, I made a mistake. I was doing a lot of 2 game parlays, and I was hitting 1 out of 2
Oh
every time,
shit.
so losing. So I think I went in the first 2 days of the tournament, Thursday and Friday. I'm pretty sure I went like 2 or 3 out of like 15. Like I said, small units, so I wasn't down. I was down like 20, $25. But then I smartened up on Saturday and Sunday, where I think I'm 11 for my last 13, because I smartened up and started doing, more of the spreads. Obviously, going into the second round, it's a lot easier to evaluate these teams now that you've seen a game under their belt. And yeah, so I'm on a mini heater. I bet some games today. Like I said, I'll never say I'm like my other friends that bet $50, $100, $200 each game, but I just like to do it for fun. So NCAA's been fun lately, and it rolls on. It now the Sweet 16 starts on Thursday. My team is North Carolina. They took care of business. Actually, like I said, I bet like $3 North Carolina. Got drunk on Thursday at a bar. I bet North Carolina to win by 3.5 and also cover this the over. Hey, $2, $3 to win $11. I'll take that anytime. Paid for a beer or two while I was at the bar. But yeah, it hasn't been madness, I would say, but there's some good quality games. A lot of blowouts by 20 and 30. But now that we're in the Sweet 16, we're going to see a lot more competitive games. I like that Houston team. I like they're playing for somebody that passed. I don't know if he was a current player, number 32. They talked about it after the win last night. They're inspired. UNC's my team. They got Duke still involved. You got Gonzaga, UConn. UConn looks like a force to be reckoned with too. So
Did you see the average age of UNC is higher than the average age of OKC, the Thunder?
yeah, I didn't see that, but I looked at their team recently because I haven't been watching all year. COVID helps that out because a lot of people got like almost a red shirt in that COVID year. So a lot of
Yeah.
college teams that they haven't had a lot of draft picks over the last couple of years. So a lot of teams, a lot of college teams have been able to use that to their advantage. So you have 5 year seniors on their team that played literally 5 years. There's one player on the I forgot his name. He's a power forward center for the Tar Heels. He's played 5 years with them, full 5 years, including COVID. So uh, I did not see that, but OKC Thunder is super young. I think they're still top 3 in the West right now, right? If I look at
Yeah,
my
this
standings,
still up there. I think
yeah,
it's
number 2.
Denver, OKC,
They're
and
only a half game
Minnesota.
for Thunder. Minnesota to be 1 game. OKC a half a game. Minnesota 1 game out of Denver, who's been basically healthy the whole year. They've had a full squad coming off a championship. Obviously, it's always hard to make that second run, second push. But for those 2 teams to be on top of the West, the NBA is in good hands. Like we talked about it last time, it shifted a little bit. You still got Suns, Kings, Mavericks, Lakers, and Golden State in the play-in game. So those play-in games are going to be fun to watch. They're going to be 1 game elimination, and I'm sure the NBA loves it because they're going to be primetime games, and you're going to be able to watch it like it's winner takes all basically in the play-in. So basketball is fun right now. Anything to just to wrap up March Madness, the tournament, anything at all?
No, man, I don't know. I just like I said, I haven't really been watching, so I'm
Yeah.
not up to date with what's going on or anything like that. I don't know why. I really don't know why I haven't tuned in because I usually tune in. I think it's because Miami. I don't even know if Miami's still in it, but they didn't look that good. FAU got eliminated, I believe. Their coach just signed and is going to Michigan, so that's good for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that.
I
That's
saw
I
that.
mean, Yeah, that's what happens when you get a team to, a mid-major team to over excel the last couple of years. You're gonna lose kind of your foundation there. But shout out FAU. Obviously, they didn't advance after the
Who?
first round, but right, FAU.
Yeah,
No,
FAU. Who?
yeah, okay. Is that who you're talking about? That went to
Yeah,
Michigan, didn't
the FAU
yeah,
coach. Yeah,
head
yeah.
coach. Yeah, okay. I thought I'm like all over the place. I was looking at a couple of subjects or whatever. But yeah, that's gonna happen. Um, you brought it up, and we'll get right into it now that we're talking about gambling and stuff. The Otani thing broke after we came off episode 117 last week. That Otani was involved in something. Just to
Allegedly,
yeah, allegedly, and
allegedly,
just to backtrack.
allegations.
All these leagues have found a new stream of revenue with sports betting, and they've allowed sports betting to be legal for the fans and everything like that. And you're going to get many years, it's not going to stop that players are somehow involved, seeing that they can make money. Obviously, just because they're NBA players and they make millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands doesn't mean they're the most intelligent human beings in the world. They're still going to do some dumb choices and have relatives do it, or they're going to do it themselves. I think it just came out right before we logged on. Let me see. Woj tweeted out.
Buddy from the
Let me pull this
Raptors.
up. Yeah, buddy from the Jonte Porter, who's
I have
brother
no idea who
of.
that is.
Yeah, he's the brother of Porter on. I think he's on Sacramento. No, is that no? That's the brother of Porter Jr. on Denver Nuggets.
That's Michael Porter Jr.'s brother.
Michael Porter Jr. Yeah, that's his brother. That I knew it was.
I didn't even know he had a brother.
Yeah, he had a brother, and I think they both played for Missouri. I could be
Mizzou.
wrong in that. Yeah, but well, whatever. So it came out that he was making prop bets on himself, which he's not a guy that even plays a lot. I'm pretty sure. So interesting that
Bro.
you're gonna see in the NFL they had issues like that. Would you, if you were a lower grade player, not talking high profile all star, would you? What would your strategy be if hypothetically you wanted to make bets? What would you? How would you go about it? Would
I
you
bet the under on
tell a
myself
friend?
every fucking game.
Okay, well, but more importantly, how would you go
It'd
about
be
it?
so
Because
much
obviously
easier.
you would have to tell somebody else to do it for you that's in another state.
Well,
You don't have text
yeah.
messages. You do it all in person. It's got to be like Goodfellas type movement or casino type shit. Where
Yeah, you're gonna
nothing
have
over
to
the
have.
phone.
No, it can't be over digital. It can't be a text message. It can't be a DM. It can't be anything that can be tracked. It can't. You have to have someone. You gotta make a phone call from a payphone or from a flip
Yeah.
phone or
Maybe have a beeper.
non-trackable shit. Someone in a totally different state, and be like, yeah, place these bets on me. That's how
Right.
I would go about it. Not even a family member.
They're already not doing it right with how they're, people are getting caught. And obviously, once they implemented the business of DraftKings, FanDuel, and all these apps legal, and it's going to get even more engaging where they're going to have, just like the Hard Rock started the Hard Rock app, and you could go to the Hard Rock, the guitar, and bet live in person. They're going to have those type of apps are available where you're betting at the game and you're able to do, like, they're going to have their own section. So it's going to get more involved because there's billions of dollars in it. But the negative about it is you're going to get players and referees possibly doing it because they know it's illegal,
It's not gonna
not to
stop
make,
them.
yeah, not to make this reference hit. Murder is illegal since the beginning of time, but people still do it. You know what I mean? People still try to get away with it every step, every single day, every hour. Just because something's illegal and you can have the biggest consequence doesn't mean people are not going to do it. Human beings are still going to make poor choices.
So I just opened up the Twitter app and it opened up to screenshots from the full story that Woj tweeted out about this. And it says, in the game on January 26th against the Clippers, there was increased betting interest on the under for Porter props, which for the night were set at 5.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 1.5 assists. There was also an over-under for Porter's made three-pointers, which was 0.5. That night, Porter played just 4 minutes before leaving the game due to the what the Raptors said was a re-aggravation of an eye injury he suffered 4 days earlier against the Grizzlies. He did not score in the game against the Clippers, had 3 rebounds and 1 assist, and did not attempt 3, meaning the under hit on all the props. But he was probably like, yo, my eye itches. I got something in my eye type shit. The next day, as part of a daily report to users on betting results, DraftKings Sportsbook reported that the under on Porter's three-pointers was the biggest money winner for bettors of any NBA player props from the games that
Red
evening.
flag. They set up. They have algorithms for all that.
Of course,
if they have algorithms to for these game props, and Vegas is usually not undefeated, but man, they got the
house
best
always
technology.
Porter played
Good.
19 minutes 2 days later and scored 12 points with 7 rebounds and 3 assists. On March 20th, in a game against the Phoenix Suns, Porter played just 3 minutes before leaving the game to what the Raptors said was an illness and did not return. He did not score, attempted and missed 1 shot, and had 2 rebounds. Sportsbooks had his over-unders set at 7.5 points and 5.5 rebounds. That's
a lot for a player that's inconsistent playing times. So that's an easy under.
The next day, DraftKings Sports reported to its users that Porter's props bets were the number 1 moneymaker from the night in the NBA. Porter, the brother of Denver star, like you said, Michael Porter Jr., is on a 2-way contract with the Raptors, earning $415,000 this season. Well, so he's making more money. Yeah, he blew it, but he was making more money gambling against himself than on his contract.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even be surprised. I wouldn't even be surprised if his brother's in this shit.
Let's not throw too much allegations at other people. Let's stick to him. But I won't agree with that just because these are very we don't want to be like front page ESPN hot takes, but he'll be done from the NBA even if the allegations are kind of true, or even if when it merits an investigation of any kind. You're guilty socially, so you're done in the NBA, especially if you're on a 2-way. He'll be playing in Europe. Some Turkish league will pick him up, and he'll probably excel there and win MVP and probably a championship there. That's usually what happens. So, betting with... Good.
Oh, no, I was just going to say he's probably up late at night fucking gambling on shit over in fucking weird-ass leagues and shit.
So for people who don't know with the Ohtani thing, obviously Shohei just signed a mega contract that we talked about for episodes ago, signing a huge 7-year deal, whatever it was, paying him $400 million over the lifespan of 40 years, basically. We won't get into details, but his when you're a foreign player, especially if you're a Japanese player, you have a translator with you full time in his contract. That interpreter that's been with him since day one had all the perks of, good hotels, good treatment, good pay. And it turns out that this interpreter was betting so much in the millions that he had a debt with an offshore bookie illegally. And obviously he's translating for Shohei. So what they allegedly think happened was that this interpreter obviously took full advantage of the situation, got in deep with millions of dollars, whether it was, some people are saying it's 4 million. Now we're hearing something like 20. Let's call it in the middle of that he transferred money to pay his debt unbeknownst to Shohei. And we don't know the truth yet, and it'll come out eventually because the FBI's in it, and usually the FBI is pretty much undefeated, and once they have evidence on you and they're investigating you, they probably will win. So the MLB, it's not a good look for their best player, their most prolific player in the world, and has taken over baseball. It's not good, but he came out today at a press conference talking about how nothing was known to him. This person took full advantage and paid off debts in the millions and from his account, because that's how it got flagged. I'm sure FBI has been watching this happen for probably months or years. And then when they seen that it was Ohtani, it became, to the MLB, and now MLB is investigating FBI. So it's a shitty situation. It's a clusterfuck, and it's bad look. What I got from it, and I'll hear your opinion in a second, but from what I get from it, it seems pretty, I believe Ohtani that got taken advantage of. It seems like it can be that situation. Whether something's going on behind the scenes that MLB's trying to cover up, we're going to find out eventually anyway, because there's probably evidence and all that you could probably prove that Ohtani was involved. But I'm going to take it as now that he wasn't involved. His interpreter took advantage of interpreting for him, misleading him, and paying off his debts, and then Ohtani found out. I would say bad on Ohtani to trust 100% in this person. But guess what? We all get taken advantage of personal business where we give too much responsibility or too much trust in a human being, and then they use that trust for their own benefit. So what's your take on the whole situation?
Dude, so it's tough to say because when you have supposedly his translator is supposed to be his best friend,
mm-hmm.
and someone who's with him a lot. Okay, so technically that would
time.
be like
every
that
step
would be
of the
like
way.
let's say you and I, if I lived down there, that would be us. We'd be hanging out, chilling, whatever, often, all the time. And let's say we had a business together or whatever, and it was lucrative, we were doing pretty well. I'm pretty sure if either of us saw our behavior change or something of that nature, we'd see what's going on and be like, yo, what's going on? Like, there's no way, dude. It doesn't matter how rich you are. There's no way that you don't see this money coming out or you don't notice this money leaving. And
yeah,
I don't know, dude. There's been a lot of pictures of Ohtani. Look like he's sweating some parlays. Look like he's sweating some bets. It's like I know the look of a degenerate gambler when I see one. Why? Because I've looked in the mirror and I see one. I've been there, done that. So sure. I get it. I get it, Ohtani. I know. And dude, I saw some screenshots of some stuff about games where he was pitching and it was just bad. That he just pitched bad, and they're like, is he blowing these games? Is he doing this on purpose? He gave up like 7 earned runs in one start and then 8 earned runs in another, and didn't make his strikeout props. It was like 6.5. He had like 6 strikeouts.
Well, now we're overanalyzing. I think that.
Yeah,
that
but no, it's something that you got to do when
right.
you look at it. You know.
Yeah.
If you're betting on it to blow games, I mean.
You're looking
especially
at inconsistencies
especially him when he's the pitcher and he's hitting, so he can do that shit very fucking easily.
You're right. He's a unique specimen, and we gloat about how much control and how much.
Dude, he's got all the control to fuck shit up.
I'm not saying he could easily control a game, but he has a way, like other than like a LeBron James that handles the ball so much that he could do it. This man's pitching at least 6 innings a game, and he's also hitting 4 or 5 times in a game. But all of his stats would back up that he's pitching to his best ability from what I've seen overall, because I play fantasy baseball, and he's been literally on the best team available in our fantasy leagues over the last 5 years. If you have Shohei, you're basically in the playoffs or one of the best teams in the league. So it's I'm gonna go on the side of Ohtani and say he got taken advantage of until anything else comes out. I'll reevaluate my opinion, but I'll mop it up as that, because obviously what comes out initially is never what comes out, a year or 2 from now.
So there's a few clips that are trending on Twitter right now.
Are you being a conspiracy theorist?
Oh no, I'm just about to show some stuff that's on Twitter right now.
I pride myself and think of myself as a man of faith.
Oh, fuck me.
I know what that clip was.
Yeah, fuck that. That's funny. I got
That was a good one. For people that don't know, if you know baseball, you know exactly what that was.
It's the deep ball.
That's that's a high fly to
home run for Nick
yeah.
Castellanos.
uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, bro.
That's
Wow.
another story for another day, but
Let me see. Hold
betting
on.
in sports, man. It's why you pull that up. It's
Okay, this
it's
one
gonna happen.
should be
Humans
good.
are gonna human, as I say. They're gonna make bad decisions. They're gonna be desperate. Just because they make millions doesn't mean there's a lot of people out there trying to make there's people out there making millions every day that still do illegal stuff to make more million. Like that's just who we are.
Yeah.
But,
Dude, I think he speaks full English.
oh, he speaks well. I think he's been.
Yeah.
I mean, in situations he has to use a translator because you don't want your words to get misconstrued. But he speaks
Right.
and understands a good amount.
It's funny because there's that interview with Mike Trout. He's like, yeah, I think he speaks more English than he lets on.
まずはじめに、僕自身は、
I've been
何かに
watching
かけたり
Shogun
とか、
lately. Maybe I could pick up some
誰かに
on
代
some
わって、
words.
そのスポーツイベントにかけたりとか、それをまた頼んだり、っていうことはないですし、まあ、僕の口座からブックメーカーに対して、誰かに送金を依頼したことももちろん全く、ありません。
So I never bet on baseball or any other sports, or never have asked somebody to do it on my behalf. And I have never went through a bookmaker to bet on sports.
まずはじめに、
I call cap, bro. Just because.
All right, we have different sides. I like this. I think
Why-
you
why
genuinely
do
think
you-
one way, and I think
Why are you the best player in the league and you're playing with Mike Trout and you don't make the playoffs?
I mean, that's a. If you're asking me, baseball is a lot more complex, or there's a lot more variables that go into baseball among, something like soccer, basketball, or football. Football,
only
you have an
thing-
elite quarterback, you're gonna win. Baseball, Barry Bonds only made it to one World Series before he was on roids and after he was on roids, and lost that World Series to his former
The
team,
Angels.
Ohtani, the Angels. So
Yeah.
Barry Bonds was the best player for what, 10 straight years, astronomical numbers, and still only made one World Series and didn't even go deep in the playoffs that many times. So I have that counter argument to you.
The only thing that would kind of have me say that he didn't do it is the Japanese culture and how prideful they are and how they don't like to really do bad things. That would
Culturally,
really
you're
be
right.
that would really be the only thing. But
his interpreter was Japanese, I would assume. Right? I don't know his background totally, but his interpreter is probably from Japan. I haven't Wikipedia'd it or anything, but
the other-
you would assume he has the same type of culture, and he did something. We can all admit that he at least did something wrong.
But it's the whole thing is saying he avoided two important questions. How did iPay have access to his accounts? How did he not notice multiple $500,000 payments leaving
Well, I don't
his
think
account?
he took questions though. I think he just
No,
read
yeah,
the
he
statement, that was
didn't.
it.
He didn't take questions at all, which is another red flag.
Yeah, but no, you can't because it's an ongoing investigation. Why would you put yourself in the media of saying something potentially wrong? It makes sense. Like if I was under any investigation, even to the most minute allegations, I wouldn't even be talking. The fact that he's talking and coming out on it, Dodgers said, and MLB was probably like, you have to talk. Hiding in the shadows is not going to work in this regard. So I think he did what he needed to do as far as admit that, the bare minimum of what was true, hopefully true on his side, and then let the investigation take place. I'm interested to see because baseball is such a mental game, and I'm a Yankees fan, and I don't want the Dodgers to win at all. So the Dodgers could go fuck themselves. I hope they lose. I hope they don't make the playoffs. I hope they don't win another World Series because that's not our rival, but like that's the other team we're competing with. If we ever get to a World Series, that's probably a team we're gonna have to play. I hope that this affects them, but I'm intrigued to see how this affects him as mental as a game as baseball is. I think we're gonna see in the first month the toll it's taken on him, and there's no way he comes out on fire, right? There's no way he just lights.
But he could.
He could.
He could.
I know.
He could.
The
He
same
could just
breath,
start
yeah,
betting
yeah.
on himself hitting a homer every
All
game,
right.
and it's like,
All right.
Ohtani has homered in 17 straight games. It's like,
All
dog.
right. All right. Yeah, but
Dog.
the odds are against him as far as coming out hot. So, I mean, if I have the number one pick, I'm still well. Actually, he's not pitching this year, so Shohei's not a clear-cut number one pick
Someone-
this year. He's a top 5 pick, I think, no matter what. In my
Someone
fantasy,
tweeted
which
and
is
said
happening
either
on
O-
Wednesday.
Someone tweeted and said either Ohtani is not telling the truth or has the worst best friend, interpreter, accountant, manager, agent, bank in history.
Yeah, that's like I said, there's a lot of things that gotta unfold. So we'll see. It's gonna be a topic probably for as news comes out. We'll kind of talk about it on the podcast. So we'll see what it is.
Hey, that's why he got his contract deferred, bro. That's why he got his contract deferred so he could keep.
By the way, in his
later on.
contract, there was a somebody tweeted out, not a random person, but a reporter, that in his if there was like a personnel change with his translator, personnel wise, he's able to like opt out of his contract or something. So he had it built in that his interpreter meant a lot to him. So obviously this changes it, but it's just a weird little, baseball contract where he protected his interpreter at all costs. So I said what I said. I'm going to wait for more information to come out. Let's also jump into other things that has to do. I know Broward Vintage just talked about like Diddy and stuff like that. To go into more controversial topics, Diddy's house got raided today. That's been, we talked about it a few episodes ago.
Few hours
how-
before we started.
Yeah, it was allegations, of course, but once the feds start raiding your house and start looking through things and have the ability to go through everything, now more things are going to come out, and I think the allegations against him are super extreme, way more extreme than Ohtani's going through, that's for sure, as far as sexual, trafficking and, whatever goes along with that. Epstein, they're talking about private planes going. I know Ben sent me something. Sorry I didn't get to your text, Ben, when you sent it to me. We were getting ready for the pod, but what do you think about the Diddy stuff? And like I said,
So-
once you get raided by the feds, that changes the game.
Before I even start, I got a video. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but it is about the whole,
All right, go
the
ahead.
whole
I'm gonna
thing
get
that's
another-
going on.
Breaking news right now. We're following the Department of Homeland Security conducting a raid at a
Homeland
house in
Security.
Homeby Hills, believed to be connected to Sean Combs, the rapper and music executive, perhaps being linked to a sex trafficking investigation.
He got some shots of a few people coming out of the home. Those people have been detained. Now we're trying to still connect the dots. We do have some sources on scene here that we're getting this information from. We were actually the first ones here with about 30 different law enforcement vehicles at least. There are 3 Bearcats on scene here. This just all unfolded, Sandra, I would say, less than 10 minutes ago. We got here even before the crime scene tape came up. So we're just down the hill. If you look up the street where Tony is right now to the right, you'll see one of those Bearcats and law enforcement. And on the other side of those bushes, basically, is that home that is registered to Bad Boy Films, which is part of Bad Boy Entertainment. And the home in particular is registered not only to Bad Boy Films, but to one of P. Diddy's daughters.
They are heavily armed, and they've been very tactful, would probably be the best word to use, as they made entry into this home this afternoon. We actually watched them as they made their way through one of these side gates, and as soon as they got inside the home, one of the first things they did was made their way into this garage that you see is open right there. Now, they did take a couple people into custody. We witnessed that. Now, are they under arrest? Are they just being asked about what they know? That I can't answer, but I can tell you there's 3 people right there that were taken into custody, were inside that home at the time of the raid.
We did see a bunch of
Dude, as always, Twitter is going insane. about this. They're saying that Diddy's sons were in there flushing down the dildos in the toilet. They're saying that if Diddy was there, they wouldn't have needed to put handcuffs on him because he would have already had them on. It's just, man, it's just crazy. They posted a picture of like mad fucking sex toys on a table and saying when the feds raided Diddy's house, they're saying shit about Meek and Diddy right when he dog.
Of course,
Oh my
the
gosh,
jokes
bro.
and Twitter's gonna
Dude.
fly with that, but that's
Diddy
that's a
gonna
more
bring his own handcuffs when they arrest him. Diddy probably already had everybody in the house in cuffs. That was the easiest FBI raid ever.
well. Luckily, I'm
Dog.
not saying luckily for him, but he has had at least a month or a few weeks to get rid of some stuff. So that raid was probably not as early as it should have been, in my opinion. I think it should happen a lot earlier, but who knows with people with a lot of money.
Yeah, so Ben just sent me a text. Broward Vintage, our sponsor, from General MC News. Private jet owned by Sean P. Diddy Combs has left the United States. The flight path of the plane appears to be headed towards Cape Verde. Cape Verde has no extradition treaty with the U.S. So there's that too. I mean, it's definitely fishy. I mean, I saw a tweet that said they're not even trying to find anything. They're just trying to hide stuff. Because Diddy could be linked with, you know, like you said, the Epsteins, the Clintons, whatever. It's all over the place. There's a lot of shit that could be happening. But I'm just here for the jokes, to be honest.
of
I know
course.
it's not a joking matter. The
Yeah,
allegations
this
are very
situation's
serious.
a lot less of a joke for sure.
You know, it's very serious. The sex trafficking, everything that has happened in the past few months with Diddy. It's not a joking matter, but of course, social media is going to not care or give any single fucks about anything serious ever. So
Yep.
that's what I'm here
And-
for. But
that's
I mean,
what we're all
I think Diddy's guilty. To be honest,
Yeah,
like,
there's-
he's got a
if-
long track record of some very suspicious shit. That's like, you know,
Like, you
you're
can
not
backtrack it
beating
to
them
even-
allegations, brother.
There's even, you know, when it starts off by like he was involved somehow in the Tupac shooting and a lot of beef and how he made his, you know, how you're only able to climb that fast, that aggressively through some bad things going on or some greed involved somehow. So, and then with greed comes, you know, bad habits and some dark places. So
Diddy's a
if,
bad boy.
Bad boys. So, like I said
Bad
about
boy.
Otani, how I think I'm going to choose to believe him. I'm going to say my opinion on the Diddy thing is I'm not going to choose to believe Diddy. I'm going to believe not all of it is true, but it's not looking good for him. And
Yo,
it's a lot more serious allegations. And I don't think he's in a good spot right now.
yeah, he's definitely not in a good
It's
spot.
ugly. But something similar, though. What is it? Dan Schneider, former Nickelodeon CEO scandal that on Hulu. It's a documentary series that
Have
I
you
haven't
watched
watched
it?
it, but I haven't watched
started
it. Bree
watching
wants
it.
to watch it, but yeah, I'll probably get to it. I just watched a lot of takes and clips on Twitter. Twitter does a great job of if you don't want to watch something, they kind of put a compilation together. And I've been getting the point. Nothing's surprising to me in that where it's, you know, a lot of pedophilia, a lot of sexual things went on, and as you watch the clips of, you know, these young teenagers or 10-year-olds doing some of these things, you watch some of these clips, man, then they seem like they have an undertone to it.
My biggest thing about that is the parents, the kids' parents. And it was always, oh, I don't want to derail my kid's career, or I don't want to make it so he doesn't get another shot, he or she doesn't get another shot, or, you know, we thought this was normal. Motherfucker, when was that shit ever normal? None of that shit is normal. None of that shit is right. That's beyond me, man. I would I would hope, if I ever have kids and they tell me, I would hope that they would be comfortable with telling me if they're ever a victim of something like that or someone taking advantage of them. It doesn't matter
But just
how
like
the
just like
situation
the
is.
just like everybody, parents are taking advantage of the kids. Not saying that they okay the treatment of their children, but when money's coming in and you obviously a 12, 13, 14-year-old can't spend that money that they're making, it's going into a bank account, your parents control it, you become a victim of the system. And
Dude.
these parents are also taking advantage of the kids, where it's like you see this easy money coming in. As a parent, you're not doing much, you want to keep the money coming in as much, the fame, all the benefits from being famous, and you get trapped in the system. I mean, just to backtrack as far as like the Michael Jackson thing, there's a Michael Jackson documentary on HBO, and they did a great job as far as interviewing and taking the accounts of some of the victims in court during the Michael Jackson phases. And these parents would their 10-year-old, their 12-year-old, their 8-year-old, whatever, they'd okay them staying over Michael Jackson's suite overnight, multiple times, staying at his house and all these things where, Michael Jackson, I'm sure did wrong 100%. I don't know to what extent, but also the parents are just so like, all right, cool. Michael Jackson, the one of one in the world, the biggest icon, superstar of all time musically and in that industry, he wants to invite you. They get taken advantage, and then they take advantage of their kids. So I'm not saying hopefully I would do a lot different in that situation, but most human beings make poor judgment decisions and poor decisions even for their kids. So humans will human. And yeah, man, this is big, man. There's a lot of allegations. There's a lot of things that are coming out over the last 5-10 years from the last couple decades that is very ugly, and it's only gonna add up.
No, that shit,
It's gross.
man. It is gross. It is gross. I'm letting the choppers sing. I don't give a fuck how much money coming in, bro. You're not fucking with my kids, bro. Hell no.
All right, let's get a little.
You gotta really sell your soul and be in a very bad
People
position.
will sell their soul though.
Mentally,
People will. I mean,
do
what,
that
to
shit.
do the act?
Not only are you selling your soul, but you're selling your kid's soul too. Kids are innocent, bro.
like I said, you get how many to relate it and make it more humanized. And I'm not saying, I'm not giving an excuse or justifying anything, but how many times have you been in a situation where you look back and be like, oh fuck? Or whether you could even say in a relationship where like I shouldn't have let that person take advantage of me emotionally, physically. I shouldn't have let them financially take an advantage. I'm not saying maybe you can't, but most people, they get in situations where you look back and you go, oh my God, that was dumb. Like that was as clear as could be. I shouldn't have allowed that. But when you're in the situation live, it's a lot different. Like I said, I'm not justifying or okaying any actions by parents or anything that's going on, but things are going on. Money's coming in by the hundreds of thousands, the millions, and you just get really caught up. And that's what industries thrive on, is vulnerability and the money. And then it turns out it's gross, it's ugly, and we're seeing all these things being reported now. So we'll see how it pans out. Not to make it last thoughts on that before we get a little more lighthearted on some topics here.
Yeah, no, that's really it. All I got. And we're saying no Diddy from now on. It's no more no homo. It's no Diddy.
No Diddy, huh?
It's no Diddy.
Yeah, I seen in that video, by the way, his kids, his sons were in handcuffs too. Obviously, when you raid a house, you don't want anybody to mess with any evidence or anything. So
yeah.
I get not arresting, but detaining people. So I get the formality in it all, but it's just a bad look. One thing that captivated over the last few days was the release of the Future Metro Boomin album, and then Kendrick diss track the Drake, J. Cole. This has been going on for probably 10 years on a more of a lower level, but now Kendrick is when he puts out music or anything to that extent, it gets blown up because he doesn't, I'm pretty sure Kendrick lives in a cave for 310 days a year, and it only comes out for a month or two when his album comes out or music. But what do you think going on with that beef and the back? Because it seems like J. Cole and Drake are being tag teamed against Kendrick. Obviously, I have my opinion where Kendrick is my favorite rapper out of those three. What do you feel about going on? Have you heard the song? And what do you think about the beef that's going on?
So I haven't heard the Kendrick song yet. I haven't heard it.
We won't play it. It's copywritten, so we won't be taken down. So
I have heard Future's album, and I mean, I was told that there was some beef going on, but while I was listening to the album, I couldn't make it out to be like, oh, he's dissing Drake. But then like I see a few tweets and from Drake's album, Her Loss, and then the titles of the names on his song versus the names of the songs on Future's album, it's the complete opposite. And it's kind of funny, like Drake got slimed you out and then Future got slimed in. And there's a few other things that kind of correlate with that. Supposedly they're beefing about a stripper, bro. Y'all are like the two biggest artists right now in this generation, maybe. And that's what you guys are fucking arguing about and beefing, dude. Like, you guys made great music together. And then Drake is on tour right now, and people are making fun of him, saying he's like literally saying affirmations on stage about himself and shit like that. I'm not buying it, man. I'm not buying it, especially when it comes with Drake. All of Drake's shit, man, is calculated. It's 10 steps ahead from what we're at. In a month, 2 months, we're not going to be talking about this, and we're only going to talk about it because guess what? That shit is going to be squashed, and they're going to drop an album together, and we're all going to listen to it, and it's going to do record-breaking numbers. Yeah. Just like what happened with Meek and Drake. They were beefing, and then they made an album, and everyone listened to it. They made songs and shit like that. This is all for publicity. This is all for takes. This is all so people can go and listen to Future's album now, so people can go and listen to Drake. And Kendrick's probably might drop some more music. Who knows? I don't know anything about J. Cole, where he gets involved in it, but I hate that J. Cole catches strays when it comes to this shit, because I've never met J. Cole, of course, but J. Cole's probably one of the friendliest people and just so down to earth and right? Just like, yeah, he just goes with the vibe and does his thing. So when people kind of like bring him up, it's like, dude, this man just raps about his life and real life shit. So why are you bringing him in? Like, J. Cole doesn't care about the cars, the money, the flash, jewelry, shit like that. Man, it's fucking Fayetteville, bro. Like, he's not worried about that shit. So I say just leave J. Cole alone. Let that man do what he wants to do.
Obviously, there's some undertones, though. If Kendrick has done work with both of those people, and obviously feels some type of way, what I interpreted is, I think Kendrick is very confident since day one. He's put out how he was early on, like 10 years ago, how he's the king of New York, while at the end of New York rap, and I'm from New York for people that don't know, New York rap was at the end of their kind of like era with like Fabulous, Jadakiss, kind of like phasing into like more of a nationwide formation or transformation into hip hop. And he was saying how he was the king of New York. He's the best in hip hop. He's been saying it since he was a rookie in the game. And I think that fucked up a few people because J. Cole and Drake was already established when he was saying that stuff. And in my opinion, like I said, it's my opinion, I think he, rap-wise and creative-wise and project-wise, he is not better than all three or the other two, but they'll always be compared. It's kind of like a LeBron, not a LeBron Jordan type of situation, because it's more of like LeBron, Kobe, and like Kevin Durant type shit, where they all played in the same era kind of, and came up together. Obviously, Drake has a lane where he could do a couple things: rap, sing. He's got the hits. Kendrick has less of hits. J. Cole's like the medium of that, where he'll have hits, he'll have the singing aspect, and Kendrick is more of the, he's not in the limelight, he's not doing interviews, he's not doing any type of media. So, like I said, I'm a Kendrick fan since day one. I met him in 2011 at a meet and greet. Was able to hang out with him for a couple hours, not one-on-one, but in a group of people that it was probably one of 50. So it was kind of cool situation in New York City at a Foot Locker. But I became a fan ever since then, and I've been a fan of J. Cole and Drake since as well. I think they all have their own lane, but when you talk about, or what I think Kendrick is trying to establish himself is, he doesn't need to do all the shit that Drake and Kendrick or Drake and J. Cole do, and he comes out once a year, once every 2 years, and drops bombs, and he has all these accolades. I think he's trying to establish himself low key as the greatest rapper right now, and also high key as the greatest rapper. So it's interesting. It's all for fun. I love it. It's like, this is what hip hop is. Hip hop is when great artists have beef, is great because none of them are gonna get killed. No, none of the three involved are gonna start shooting each other or gonna get into a fist fight. So we could all throw that out the window. That's back in the day. They're not gonna kill each other. It's not that serious. It's all pure rap beef, and I love it. I don't care who's right or wrong in it. It's always good for hip hop because these are
Hip
the
hop,
three.
hip hop.
These are the three goats that we have in our modern era, right? You could agree with that, right? Like
Yeah, I would
I could-
say three of the
like
top
pure rap
five.
or pure music,
Right,
hip hop wise,
music, yeah.
making music in their 30s right now. Like, they're all in their 30s. They could all come out with a song tomorrow, and each of them will be top three in whatever order you want to rank them. So I personally love it. I don't, like I said, I don't care who's right or wrong or who tries to say he's the GOAT. It's always good competition, good fun. And that's what hip hop has always been since day one of hip hop. It's been very, I'm the best. No, I'm the best. And then you get the best music out of that. So as viewers, as music listeners and lovers, we're always going to win because we're going to get the best of these three probably over the next year or two. So I don't care for it. I don't really analyze it, but it's going to create some drama. And let's hope that we get a nice Kendrick album, hopefully in 2025.
Yeah, I'm here for the jokes. I think it's just all a bunch of fugazi, bro. I think they're just plotting and trying to get eyes on it and views and. Because
Who else?
dude, these
Who else would you? Sorry to cut you off. Who else would you put even in their category right now? That's in their 30s or 20s. That, like, musically they could come out with an album. If an album drops at midnight tonight, everybody's going to it. Like, obviously Future, I would put him in a different category, but he's still in that kind of reign because he's still putting out music consistently for 10 plus years. But he's not at that level of those three, I don't think.
I mean, I wouldn't say he's at that level yet, but someone that people would probably tune in would probably be Baby, Lil Baby. Lil Baby dropped the album track. Like, I think people would probably tune in on that. Shit.
Trying to
Kanye's
think,
a
man.
little older, but he's
Yeah, that's what I mean. You can't count him because he's been out. So, like, anything he does, it's gonna be.
I would probably say Baby, maybe shit. Kodak,
Right?
up there maybe, barely.
No, I would say no. So right now we're still at a standstill at, like, Future number 4, right? Let's say who's number 5 out of those, like, not young, but, like, in their prime as far as hip hop. Like, there's not many. So these are your three. If you did a Mount Rushmore right now of music in hip hop, pure hip hop, it would be Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, and you're fishing for the 4th starter on that, Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, no.
Or if you want to do 5, if you want to do top 5, you throw a Future in there 4. Who would you throw in 5? Yeah, Lil Baby, Travis Scott, only because when he puts out music, it blows up, and he has.
I'm literally looking at my phone right now, and it's like Drake,
Yeah.
Future,
It's-
fucking Kendrick, Lil Durk, Gunna.
Now, I'd
But,
say
I
Lil
mean,
Baby
yeah.
/ Travis Scott as my number 5 as far as top 5 when they come out with a song, like a hit song or a hit album. It's gonna not be hot for a day. It's gonna be hot for weeks. I think that would be the top 5. I have Future as 4. You could put Lil Baby as 4, but like, I still don't think that they're at that level of those top 3 right there.
Yeah,
That's my argument on that. We have it.
Yeah,
We have that
I
argument
don't-
all the time in our house. You know, when we play YouTube, like usually when we're fucked up, we're drunk, wherever, we're chilling out 1, 2 in the morning. We'll throw on YouTube, and everybody will play a game where we pass around the remote, put on your best song, put on your favorite artist, and you know, there's not too many people right now that come to my house, and I have a various group that like different things. They're not playing anybody outside of the 5 or 6 that's relevant. Obviously, previous you got Nas, Jay-Z, Young Jeezy. Some people that come to my crib, they like the game. They put the game highly. There's a couple people that come to my house that the game is in their top 5, like of all time. I disagree.
Yeah, you're talking. No, I
I
wouldn't
disagree
put
with
the game in
that.
my
There's
top
2
5,
people
man.
that come to my house that put the game as their top 5 rapper of all time. I strongly disagree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into that. That's not,
Okay.
That's not a topic I want to get into right now.
All right, fine. I just hey,
Because I mean,
we'll
honestly, I'm not going to put the game in my top 5 because I haven't heard like a lot of his tracks.
I mean, it
and
doesn't
his
matter.
albums and
If
shit,
you-
so
you just know. I mean, yes and no. Like, yes, you probably have to listen to him more, but like the fact that you don't have an opinion means that he's not. So that's
yeah,
where I draw my opinion on is like if I have to think about it for more than 5-10 seconds, he's just not. So let's run through some topics at the end of episode 118. Thank you guys on X for listening. We have a lot of views lately, so we're going to continue to promote on X and Twitter because we have a lot of viewers viewing that way. But real quick, NFL new Netflix series, instead of the quarterbacks, they're going to do wide receivers, which is pretty dope. So I think they wanted to do quarterbacks for the second season. I don't think they got enough quarterbacks because it's such a highly intense position that I don't think they want to concentrate on being promoted and doing a
they
season-long
don't need the
documentary.
distractions.
Wide receiver is probably the best way to go because
Yeah,
those are
dude.
the
No,
prima
honestly,
donnas
why?
to a team,
Yes, so great.
it's perfect.
They got
Those are
they
the
got a
ones
lot
that
of
you
good.
really
Do you
want.
have the list of players they got? Of
I don't
receivers
have
they
the
got?
list, but what I would list it as is I don't have the list. You could pull it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna find it right now.
Potentially, but I mean, people like C.D. Lamb, people like you could even do like it's still like an Odell Beckham, like trying to figure out what team you want to be. Jefferson, Vikings. You could do.
So I know
Chase.
Amon Ra, St. Brown, Justin Jefferson is in
That's a
it.
good one.
Yeah, I like Amon Ra a lot. Pause, no
Yeah.
Diddy.
He's a fan favorite.
Devontae
I don't think
Adams.
anybody hates on him. Devontae Adams, yeah,
will
that's
be
a good one.
another good one. Searching here through X right now.
I'm even trying to think without looking at a list. There's just so many. There's one per team that you could do. Other than the
Debo
fucking
Samuel,
Giants.
Kittle, Greg Kittle's in it.
Nice. Get some tight ends involved.
Even though he's a tight end, yeah.
If you wanted to do, obviously Tyreek Hill.
Tyree got way too much going on to be in
Nah,
the show, man.
That buddy needs. That buddy.
he
needs
needs
less
his
going on
own
in his
show.
life.
He needs if they're gonna do something, he needs his
You
own
could literally
show, bro.
do his own Hard Knocks, and that would be way all over the place. But
For
that
sure.
can be fun. I think Netflix.
He's one helmet to helmet hit from being Tyreek
Team
AB.
CTE.
Yeah,
CTE, ESPN.
CTE ESPN. He's gonna be the co-host with AB. He's one good hit away, and I hope it doesn't happen. because
Yes.
I
Yeah,
need
of course.
Tyreek. But pause.
I think
no Diddy.
doing the wide.
That was
I think
crazy.
the,
That was crazy.
I think doing the wide receivers is a better look, and then also
Yeah.
next year you could do
100%.
running backs, and then you could do defense. You don't have to lock in on the quarterbacks. Today the NFL did ban the hip drop tackle, which is controversial. I watch Pat McAfee every single day, and they're super against it because the hip drop tackle, meaning you basically grab a ball runner and you drop them down, and it basically makes their back go towards their heel. That's the best way I could explain how the tackle is. Basically, when somebody gets tackled, they go backwards. It's created a lot of knee, ankle injuries, and they banned it from the league. I don't know how they're going to go about it as far as enforcing it. It's going to be a 15-yard personal.
That's a
penalty
lot.
or whatever it is.
I was
It's a
just
lot.
about to say that's a
And
lot.
it's not
bro, 15
it's
yards.
not reviewable either. So
That's terrible.
we're gonna see how it works out, and it's either gonna be cleaned up and less injuries, which obviously we all could agree as fans we don't want injuries, but football players don't like it because you've already taken the head hits out of the game, right? Helmet to helmet, helmet to chest. You took that out of the game. Now you're taking another element. So this game's turning very quickly into the NBA where you're taking defense out of the game. You're making offense more prevalent, more sexy. Chicks love the long ball, as they say. And chicks love the long passes and long runs in the NFL. So we're going to see how that plays out. It could be ugly as far as penalties and everything, but hopefully it gets figured out where we still see quality football. MLB opening day this Thursday. I got my draft on Wednesday, so I got a full league. Last week I was trying to get that league full, so I'm excited about that. The Marlins Park is implementing instruments into the facility. I sent it to the podcast
Instruments?
Twitter. Yeah, pull it up. I sent it to the podcast Twitter page. Let's see. I'll pull it up while you pull it up. It's on the DMs. So basically, the Marlins, obviously, for people that don't know, that don't live in South Florida, that are listening, it's very, Caribbean, South American, that's where baseball thrives. And they make it fun. So basically permitted instruments that you're allowed to bring in. They're trying to make it festive, trying to make it, home field advantage in a way where you're allowed to bring in a
This right here?
bongos. Yeah. You can read it off too.
Bongos,
some of these instruments I don't
blast,
even know.
Trumpet, maracas,
Cowbells.
Yeah. Matracas.
Basically, you could bring in any
Tambourine,
musical instrument
cowbells.
just to make it fun and live. And Marlins already suffer from very low attendance, and I think they have a better team than they've had in the last few years. So, not only will the team be young and energetic, they're trying to bring some energy to the park.
They're also
Good.
They're also implementing all-you-can-eat seats for $52 a game, and it's all you can eat, all you can drink, non-alcoholic beverages, of course. But that's a pretty good thing to do as well, to bring in audience and fans and shit.
Yeah.
I think they got a good team. I think they got a solid team. So they're doing
solid
They're
pitching.
doing the right thing.
Good hitting, and they just need money to back them up and sign good players and keep their own. And that's been the, I got some fresh gear from Broward Vintage lately for Marlins games, so I'm looking to go to a few games during the year, definitely during the summer, where I think tickets are anywhere from $10 to $15. Parking is another 10. Getting down there is annoying. It's probably an hour drive, probably another 30, 40 minutes back. So, I'm going to try to get out to some games, have some fun, and during the summer while there's no real sports going on. And I look forward to going to some Marlins games this year. with
Yeah,
some,
I'm definitely
fresh
gonna
Brown
try
vintage gear.
and hit a couple games.
When you're down here, let's go to some games.
Because I wanna hit a few games this year for sure. Like in the summer or whatnot.
Hell yeah.
I wanna hit
Good
a
vibe.
game.
What's cool about it is you could go to like a Saturday 4:00 game, and that could be your pregame for the day. Or you could go to a 7 o'clock game, leave not early, but baseball games are ending earlier now than ever. So 9:30. Hey, you're down in Miami. Might as well go out for a couple drinks and then head home safely, hopefully. So
Right.
I look forward to some Marlins games this year. And then other than that, there's just to wrap it up on my end, and then you could go and do yours. Is a lot of trailers are coming out this week or came out. House of Dragons is coming out in June, season 2. They have to live up to a lot. I just watched the trailer. We're not going to show it because it'll get taken down copyright wise, but season 1 was a letdown in my opinion. Season 2, I just watched a trailer with Brie. Doesn't look any better, so we'll see. The Penguin show based on the last movie with Colin Farrell is his name? Not Will Ferrell, right? Colin Farrell. As the Penguin in Batman. He has his own show coming out. They already shot that. That's coming out this summer. Beetlejuice is coming out too.
I saw
It's
that.
like a remake. Beetlejuice in my childhood was big because
With one of our favorites, Jenna Ortega.
yeah, one of our favorites for sure. So Tim Burton, I love his movies. I love his his version of Batman back in the day. I'm a big fan of his mind and how he was able to shoot movies and his, very different in the 80s and 90s of how he shot movies and how he went about movies. And one movie I got to watch this week, Roadhouse with Conor McGregor. It's a remake. Bro, for the next few years, we're just going to watch nothing but remakes. No original movies are coming out. It's very rare. Like, I watched, what was it? Poor Things, I'm sorry. That's like an original screenplay. But man, it's hard to, if something's, over the next few years, it seems like we're just watching remakes of movies or sequels or things that are just copy and pasted, because Hollywood right now, we're not that creative. We're in a weird limbo of seeing the same old movies just being recreated with different actors and actresses. It sucks. No original thought, no original scripts. It's unfortunate. House of Dragons were good. All right, well, sorry, wild card, but yeah, I don't agree. I don't know if you watch House of Dragons or you watch Game of Thrones.
I saw the first season. I saw it. I enjoyed it.
Not good, man. I hold it to a high standard, and it was a lot of skipping around timelines. It was a lot of different actors coming and going, not consistent in script. Didn't captivate me, but it's all I got as far as what I got going on watching. And you got any thing you're watching, or now you're kind of wifed up? Are you watching stuff? Any shout outs?
No, not really. Shout out this fucking cookie I'm eating though.
From Publix? Gas station?
Of course, Publix, bro.
Oh yeah. I gotta go to Publix tomorrow to get
You hear me munching on that shit, dog?
I do. I gotta get chili from Publix because we were gonna do some like chili dogs, but like in the oven and bake them. But we had the podcast today, so we're gonna do it tomorrow. I've been sending Bree nonstop. All I do is send Bree on Instagram like meals that I want. So I seen a TikTok of or a reel, whatever it is, of chili cheese dogs baked in the oven, and I send it to her, and that's what we're having tomorrow for dinner. I'm hyped.
You fat fuck.
Yeah. Well, trying to work out, not consistent in the workout department, but I have been consistent in being active and moving around a lot. So my Apple Watch has been a very good source to let me know that I'm not a piece of shit every single day. That's all I got on my end, brother.
Yeah, that's all I really got. I just
Okay.
been locked into other things, so
Good.
I think I think that break would be good for us, so we can
Yeah.
kind of just build up content and get refreshed. And it's weird to say it, but once you're not really focused on something and your mind's in other things, it helps you with those other things that your mind isn't on.
Knowing
later
that you
on.
don't have to think about it, like I said, when it's
Yeah.
Sunday and you're like, oh shit, tomorrow I can't do X, Y, and Z because of this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't do anything on Monday because, like I said, this podcast, you just woke up from a nap at 8:01,
Literally.
recorded for an hour and a half, and we still had a pretty good episode. But just
Yeah.
knowing the lead up to it and the lead off after, as far as posts and interaction, so we'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that break when it seems fit. I think it's gonna fit if and when you get that new opportunity. And also, I'm traveling. We'll try to fit in for that, 2 to 4 weeks. We'll try to figure it out, and
Yeah.
we'll make it work. I think it'll be good, not only for us personally, but also for the podcast. As far as I think it'll.
Yeah,
When we
build
come
some
back,
urgency.
we'll be ready. Yeah, for sure. We'll have more
Yeah.
guests. It'll give us 4 weeks of booking people, revamping things, because there's some people we want to have on that we haven't been able to have on because I feel like it's been rushed, or we want to give them enough time. So we have a lineup full of guests. So when that break happens, whether it's before the break or right after the break, we're definitely going to have some people on this podcast to shake things up and have some fun.
Sounds good, brother.
All right.
As
Episode
always, I enjoyed
118.
my time with you.
Always, bro. 118, Broward Vintage.
Oh, Diddy.
Go shop. He's gonna have a whatnot on Wednesday, so tune in. We're gonna post about it. They usually do a first item is a giveaway for free, so I think all you have to do is pay for shipping. I think so. It's basically a free item, and then after that, they have items. It's an auction style, so definitely check out whatnot Broward Vintage. Doing it every week or every 2 weeks at least, and then go on eBay and check them out as far as different items. I've been rocking nothing but vintage clothing the entire 2 months basically, and I also have your hat that you gave me too. Bucky's all in. Can't wait to get more Bucky's when I go to Myrtle Beach.
Shout out
when we're
Buc-ee's.
there. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm stopping by Bucky's like 3 times. Can't wait.
Yeah. You better pull up here too.
Oh yeah, I was gonna tell you to we're leaving here I think June 28th or 29th, so clear your schedule for the end of June because we're gonna
Say
do
less.
what we've been doing the last couple, and obviously if you have your same situation on, we could go on a nice little date, stuff like that.
Double date life, bro.
Here we go. All right,
As
episode
I'm munching
118.
on this fucking cookie.
Elvis Escobar, Fort Sama. Appreciate y'all. Leave a review, comment, whatever you got to do. Share this podcast. If you don't like it yourself, share it to somebody that's stupid, dumb, idiotic,
don't like it,
just
fuck
like
you.
us. Share it. So, enter the lab, exit the lab. Peace. We'll see you next time.